And good morning. Welcome to a Tadpoll for Thursday morning. We have a full slate of activity today. First, we're going to talk about the legacy of life, the gala or gala, as you want to call it, coming up by the Healthcare Foundation. With us, the Rance Ames this morning, also Tara Overbell. Then we'll talk about the new mammogram out here at the hospital. And joining us will be Katie Van Allen. Then Highway 36 treasure hunt. That's coming up this weekend. Cricket Cole will be joining us. The PCCF, Phillips County Community Foundation, talking about their great race coming up next month, and also some of the grant applications are now being accepted. We'll be talking with Morris Engel and Amber Bresh will be joining us, maybe even Stephanie will stick in. Wes Hall coming down to talk about the Senior Encore, some of the things they have planned. Phillips County Chamber of Commerce and Main Street, Angie Wells will be here, and then maybe Lance Bunyan, the mayor of Phillipsburg, will stop by to talk about some of the things going on in the city. So it's a full slate of activity. We do appreciate the fact that we can come here every Thursday morning and talk about things that are going on around the area. And back to talk about the gala or gala with us, Tara and Rance. And Rance, you've been in the foundation for a while, I understand.
Yes, Tad, the foundation in 2015 was basically we hired a consultant to give us some input and guidance on the healthcare needs of Phillips County, the financial resources of Phillips County, and that was completed in 2015. So we're still early in the stages of what we want to accomplish. But
okay, so how many different contingents do you have? I mean, do you like to have? Do you go around like with EMTs and this? Is that how you do that?
The foundation is a 501c3 foundation. We basically have six beneficiaries we refer to, and it's the Phillips County Retirement Center, the Logan Manor, Phillips County Health Systems, the EMS, the Health Department, and the Wellness Center. Did I get them all, Tara?
Is hospice in there?
Well, hospice and the High Plains Mental Health.
Okay.
They do provide health care in Phillips County, but it's not exclusively in Phillips County.
Sure.
So they're a part of the beneficiaries, but we are trying to focus more on the ones exclusively in Phillips County.
So what's the goal of the foundation then?
Well, we have a mission statement. I brought it, and I'll read
good.
it to you.
Right. Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
It's kind of wordy. We
Sure.
put a lot of thought
That's
into
fine.
it. But the mission statement is to foster and enhance resources of Phillips County for improvement of health care and well-being of the community. I think the goal is we recognize that if we're going to sit around and depend on government funding, there's shortcomings with that.
Right.
There's a lot of wealth in this county, a lot of people who benefit, whether as employees or people who have health care provided to them in this county. So we thought we'd form this organization to try to tap into that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's the mission. Now, how do you plan on doing this? Now, funding. Now, the gala or gala? What do you say, gala or gala?
I say gala.
Okay, what do you say?
I say gala.
Tara's probably right.
Come see, come sigh.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
tomato. We're good.
Well, we have two so far, and again, we're early in this process.
Sure.
It's going to be a long-term commitment. Right now, we have two annual fundraisers that we've done the last couple of years. The Glow Golf Tournament that we did in July this year. It's a night tournament, only 9 holes. We do it after dark, and all the greens and the obstacles are marked with glow sticks, and the balls glow.
Sure.
And even if you don't attend, you could drive by. It's neat. You see all the balls flying up there. And then the second annual event we have is the gala, which is coming up this weekend.
Okay. Now it's a fundraiser. So, how do you plan on use the funding? Will the beneficiaries ask for money, or how are you going to do that?
Yeah, so we're still in the process. We would like to generate enough funds to create a permanent endowment, and we're not to that point yet. But the beneficiaries, 4 of them have a representative on our board, so we have regular feedback from them about what their goals and needs and missions are. So as we generate funds, earlier this summer we gave away Stop the Bleed packets, is that what it's called? And those were distributed to various, the schools, I think all the EMS departments, fire departments in the county got them. So that's one example this summer that we gave away some things. But, like I said, we're still in the process of generating funds. So.
Do you plan on maybe asking for grants and this kind of thing too?
Yeah, we hope to apply for various grants. I think the next step in our foundation is more of a targeted, going out to the community, explaining what we do, asking them to consider us in their estate plans or for gifting, that sort of thing.
Well, and it makes sense. It's great to have all these entities together with one
Sure.
person kind of, or one
Entity,
foundation kind of
yeah.
taking care of everything,
Yeah.
and if you had, you had anticipate maybe the hospital would need some piece of equipment,
Sure.
or maybe the wellness center might need something.
When you talk about grants, I think Tara could probably chime in a little bit here. We have had some grants for the hospital that's been funneled through the foundation. I know I think one of your topics later this morning is the mammogram equipment, and that was Phillips County Healthcare Foundation was a part of applying for that grant, and the money flowed through the foundation to one of our beneficiaries, the Phillips County Health System.
So besides just the financial support, our beneficiaries can use the foundation as a means of support for getting grants or going out for different funds. So we do utilize the foundation for almost every grant that we apply for, as the hospital is not a 501c3, and it's often a criteria. So like for your Hansen grants and that sort of thing, you have to be one. So we team up with the Healthcare Foundation to do those applications, and then it also helps us to have those additional people listed as supporters and backers of this request. So when Katie comes in later to talk about our new mammography equipment, we would not have been able to apply for that grant if it hadn't been for the backing of the Healthcare Foundation.
Which I think the bottom line is we can take care of ourselves. Don't have to worry about what's happening in Washington or in Topeka, right?
It'd be nice if we get to that point.
I
All
agree with
those
that.
changes of Medicare and
We'll
reimbursement.
accept aid, but it's nice to be able to have a little bit of control of what you're doing,
Sure.
and what you can do. So, so you had all those entities, and then you say the High Plains Mental Health and also hospice. They go out of the county, but they can't. Are they part of?
They're formally a beneficiary, but again, they are not exclusively in
Sure.
Phillips County.
Sure.
So we do recognize them as a beneficiary, though.
So do you anticipate rents down the road in expanding? You want to get the endowment,
Yep.
and do you have a goal for that? What you want that? Any amount of money with that?
Well,
the more the better.
Yeah, I was
right?
going to say, at this point, we haven't identified
Sure.
target goals, and it'll take time. And I think over time, the goals will go up. But yeah, at this point, we're still in the preliminary planning stages for that.
You have some writing that anything that you wanted to comment on there that you got there.
Well, we talked about the 2 annual events. I mean, we have coming up Saturday our annual gala. We call it the,
Thinking too hard.
I'm gonna have to get on that. Is it gala or gala? Okay.
we call it the Legacy of Life Gala.
Yeah.
It starts at 7:00. It's out at the 4-H building. We're having free drinks and hors d'oeuvres starting at 7, and it's dueling pianos format. We had it last year and had a lot of positive feedback. The dueling pianos guys, they know how to have fun. They know how to get the crowd involved. They know how to put some people in the crowd on the spot with their routine. It is a $50 per person admission, and again, that includes the drinks and the hors d'oeuvres and the entertainment.
What else is going on? The dual piano?
Dueling
Yeah,
pianos,
so
yeah.
they'll have about a 2-hour show. So it's a great time to go out with date night with your husband or with a group of friends, because you get up, it's interactive with the crowd. It is a semi-formal event, so we ask that people dress up and have a night out in Phillipsburg, and you don't have any opportunities to do that here.
I asked this last week. It's not black tie, but it's
No,
not
not black tie. And I don't think you need a coat and tie. Maybe
Yeah.
what you wear to church or something like that.
Yeah, I like to have my excuse. We always have a cocktail dress for Vegas or something. It's nice to have an excuse in Phillipsburg to get it out and wear it.
So you just invite anyone just come now. Where are the tickets? Where can you buy
Tickets
them?
are available at First National Bank, at Ames Law Office, at American Family Insurance, and at Mapes and Millers.
Okay.
And then they'll also be available at the door. So you don't have
so-
to get them early, but for planning purposes, we'd love it if you would purchase your tickets
If the
earlier.
last minute you say, "Oh, okay, we can make it,"
Yeah, we'll
can-
welcome you that evening if
the
that's your
wives
plan.
out there, talk to your husband and say, or boyfriend and say,
This is what we're doing.
Time,
Yeah.
okay.
Put a dress
Well, that
shirt
just
on
kind
and
of
come
goes
out.
along with it, does it? Okay.
It does. Makes it for a special night.
Okay, so a lot of pre-planning goes into this. I mean, you just don't set it up.
No, we've been planning it. Well, this is the second one.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, there's a learning curve that and we learned a lot from doing it the first time that helped us the second
Mm-hmm.
time. Tara's been very helpful in designing the tickets and the flyer and picking the decorations for that evening.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we've been putting this as a topic of conversation in our board meetings for 2 or 3 months at least.
Sure. Okay. Don't you have? How often do you meet? Once a month, or
We typically meet the first Wednesday of the month. Before an event like this or before the golf tournament. Sometimes we'll meet a couple more times. But
Okay, down the road, Rance, what do you see the foundation with a nice endowment being able to help when something comes up? And then I don't know, you probably have procedure to see whether they're eligible for this and that type of thing.
sure, I mean, and that's why when the board was first founded, we did not have a designated board position for each of the beneficiaries. That was started, I think, just in the last year, where we invited the beneficiaries to be a member,
Well, it
have
makes
a board
sense
seat.
to
Yeah.
have the beneficiaries.
Yeah, they're the persons that we hope to benefit. And by having them on the board, our goal is we'll understand what their needs, what their targets are, and maybe at this point it's $1,000 piece of equipment. Down the road, maybe we can get into much larger needs. So
Well, I think, and we'll be talking about the mammogram. I think that's great. I'm on the Phillips County Community Foundation board.
Mm-hmm.
They got a grant for that. We were out there, had a picture taken, and you can help out. Maybe if it's a large amount, several entities can get together and help.
Sure.
And which I think is great. Out used to have someone, and we'll talk about this on mammogram. Did the truck come in and have to do it? You could.
Right. So we used to have a mobile mammogram
Mobile unit, okay.
from Hayes, and we got a letter saying that effective immediately they were discontinuing that service. And so that was unfortunate that we didn't have more notice to let our patients know it in
Sure,
advance.
right,
So
yeah.
we scrambled and looked at different options. The next closest option for mobile was in Salina, and the feasibility of getting it here
Sure.
didn't work. So thanks to Hanson and the Phillips County Community Foundation and the Phillips County Healthcare Foundation, we were able to purchase a mammogram, and we found a wonderful tech that you'll meet here soon that's certified in mammogram. So now we can do those in house.
And we'll talk about that with Katie here in a
Mm-hmm.
minute there. So it's a great. Was there a need for this? Is that Rance? Is that for?
well, I mean, I certainly
The
feel
foundation,
like there was a need for it. As a part of our strategic planning, the consultant I mentioned earlier, there was some feasibility studies and some economic impact studies done of Phillips County. And Tad, when you think about the 6 beneficiaries and all the people they employ, it's just not all of us that need health care. This county has a large employment base of people directly working for our beneficiaries.
Sure.
So the economic ripple effect of healthcare, that being the employees that work in the healthcare industry, and then all of us who go to these entities and have healthcare provided to us, that's a broad base of the entire county. And we feel like that in some manner, everyone in the county can benefit from the healthcare
Sure.
industry. And we're trying to tap into that resource, add to that resource.
That's great.
In my opinion, if you're strictly relying on the government, you may be in trouble. To the extent that we can take care of ourselves in this county through the foundation or other foundations, that's our goal.
Well, and if you do it yourself, you have a kind of control of what's
Control.
going on. I mean,
That's right.
Someone in Washington doesn't say this is the way you have to do it, have to do it. You can do it the way we do it out here. instead
Right,
of-
and that's our goal.
Sure. Right. That's a great idea. Well, Anything else that you want to comment on? Just Rance, it's a week from Saturday, the gala or gala.
No, it's this Saturday, the 22nd. Oh, I'm sorry,
No,
yeah,
it's
a
a
week
week
from
from
Saturday.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
Apologize.
do.
I said this Saturday earlier. I'm glad you corrected me.
Wow.
Yeah, we would. It's a fun evening. When we did it a year ago, I had a lot of comments afterwards. I
Sure.
mean, it's an opportunity to do something in Phillipsburg besides a game or a movie or a dinner.
Well, and it's what's, you don't really have fun, but then you're helping. In
Yep,
fact.
that's
right.
That's what I like about things
Yeah,
like
the
that.
money
you know.
goes to a good cause. If you're a business or whatever and you need a receipt for that, those tax purposes, we'll make sure you get one. And then for the price that you would spend going to the movie and getting your snacks and going to dinner, you can get some live entertainment and something a little different.
All right. Well, Rance, we hope that the big crowd shows up out
Yep,
there
me too.
So,
for the gala or gala.
Yeah,
And,
that's right.
I'm going to have to, like I say, get on find out the correct what Webster says about the correct pronunciation. Rance, thanks for
Yep,
coming
thanks
on.
a lot for
yes,
having
sir,
us, Ted.
Rand.
We appreciate it.
I've known Rance forever. I think I did ball games when you were at Northern
would've-
Valley, right?
You would have called a lot of ball games.
I did
So,
ball games.
Ted, you've seen more kids and more sports
I know.
come through here that.
And I wish I see someone now and I don't anymore. I don't put the name to the face. But I recognize the face. So,
Yeah.
Yep. That was great years for Northern
A
Valley,
lot,
wasn't it?
lot of good years, fun years.
Yeah. We'll see you there.
Yep,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Rance.
We
Okay,
appreciate
we're
it.
going back and talk about the mammogram at the hospital after we take this time out.
Your team's dreams 84. This is Lloyd Covered First National Bank and Trust. It's a place filled with friends and neighbors who want nothing more than seeing you happy, better off. First National Bank and Trust in Phillipsburg, Logan, and Long Island, Smith County Bank and Smith Center, Solomon Valley Bank, Beloit. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And back we are this morning on the Tadpoll, and the first part of our show, we're talking about health and different things that make our health better here in Phillips County. We're going to be talking with Tara Overmiller again also about some things going on at the hospital. Plus, we're going to talk about the new unit they have here at the mammogram, and that'll be with us. We'll be talking to Katie Van Allen. Katie, thanks for joining us. Of course, Tara, you've already been on here with us. First, a little bit of the history. You gave it a little while ago, but how Phillips County got the mammogram.
right, so we used to use a mobile unit that would come up kind of sporadically, and it was from Hayes, and they discontinued offering that service. So we had to look elsewhere, and Salina was the closest option, and just feasibility, we couldn't get it out here to Phillipsburg. So we looked at discontinuing the service altogether, or what could we do to bring it in-house. And when we did the feasibility study, it wasn't really a financial option to do it, but thankfully with grants from Hanson, the Phillips County Community Foundation, and the Phillips County Healthcare Foundation, we were able to purchase a new mammogram machine. And then the second step that was kind of a hurdle to get over is you have to have a certified mammogram tech to run that machine.
Sure.
And it can be really hard to find specialists in this area, as you all know. So looking at what our recruitment options were, we had our eye on one person, but so we worked hard on twisting some arms, and we're really fortunate that Katie joined our team last month and is now doing mammograms out at the hospital.
Okay. Bottom line, what does a mammogram machine cost? What's the price?
It was about $135,000 for the machine itself, and then you have the installation and all the extra stuff that goes on it, and then you have a service package every year to maintain it and read the equipment.
Not every hospital has
The funds
unit,
just
right?
to write a check, yeah, especially when it was very last minute. We were told, effective today, you're no longer getting this service, so we didn't
Wow.
have long to figure out the funding. So thankfully for local foundations, we were able to pull it together.
So that's where Katie comes in now?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Okay, Kate, let's talk a little bit now, your background a little bit, then we'll talk about how you're handling the new
Okay.
unit. Okay. So
So I've
where are
been
you
in
from
the-
originally?
I'm from Wilsonville, Nebraska.
Uh-huh.
And then I was gonna work in Smith Center. Well, I went to Fort Hayes to college and graduated, and then I
You're
was
Fort
gonna.
Hayes?
I am.
Okay,
I
good,
am.
all right. You're a Tiger. Are you a
Yeah.
Tiger fan?
I am. I am.
Okay, all right.
I think you have to be, right? To go to college there. And then got a job in Smith Center, and I've been there for 10 years. And I'm married to Matt Van Allen. He was from here, and you don't move the farm, it turns out. So we have 3 young kids, and so this was a good opportunity for me to be in town. We've actually lived here, we moved here last May, so a little over a year.
So what does it take to be able to operate one of these units? Do you have to go to
Well,
a lot of training goes into that? How's that
it's
work out?
included in your x-ray training. So it was part of my 2-year x-ray training. I have a bachelor's degree, so I've actually gone 4 years, and then I'm ultrasound certified as well. And there's a class, a mammo class that you could take, and then you have to do clinicals, of course. And you just have to have the specialized training to run
Sure.
the machine.
And then all of the films are then sent to a board certified radiologist who then reads those. So she performs the tests, gets all that together, and then they're sent to a board certified radiologist for reading.
Okay, so how do you like to do units? Is there
It's good. It's a good unit, and it's giving us good images, and the radiologists are happy with it, so we're happy with it.
do you have quite a few people
We
using
do.
it now?
We had, yeah. We've had a good turnout so far.
Yeah, we had that disconnect of service for a while, so a lot of individuals delayed their annual screening. So we had a backlog of patients. So we kind of got them worked in that first month. But we do want to reiterate to individuals that breast cancer is obviously rampant disease, and that these screenings do save lives, and they're easy to get. They're not as painful or as scary
Yes,
as people
it's never as
think.
bad as what you've
They
heard.
think they're going to be, and so it's a simple screening to really prevent what could be a
Wow.
horrible disease.
Yes, and the earlier you catch it, the better outcome you have. So
And with that unit here, you could catch things early, and this, which
Yes.
is of course the advantage of having something. Do you have a
Right.
certain day you do it, or
I'm
how do you
usually-
set that up?
I usually work Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but we're pretty flexible. You know, if you can't make those days work, I'm in town. I can make it work. So
That's the great thing about having it in-house now. With the mobile
Sure.
unit, we were tied to Hayes' schedule, and sometimes they would have to move things around when the big truck was available to come in, and then it would take up our whole parking lot area
I
as
know,
well.
yeah.
So this way, instead of just once a month for a couple hours, if you couldn't get there, you were out of luck. Now we can be a lot more flexible
that's
on
great.
getting in
a lot of
mornings
people
or
like to come over
evenings.
their noon hour. That's totally fine. We're there to help.
You talk about the truck in the parking lot. You know, on Monday the MRI truck's there. You know,
Yep.
if you go out there, thud, thumb, you know, something's going on in there. Someone's getting the thing. So that really makes it more convenient that you can.
Yeah.
Yes.
They can just.
Yes.
So the doctor, is someone out there wants to serve? Is a doctor recommended, or can someone just show up and
You can
See-
just call us or show
call
up
and
as
make
long
your
as
own
you have-
appointment, right?
Right.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
Yep, you don't need a doctor referral to get a
Okay,
mammogram.
referral.
So if you
You
know,
just need to have a doctor for us to send the report to.
Yeah.
That's all we need to know.
Like all these technical terms like referrals and all this. That's
yep. So
great.
if you're in that age, I don't remember what age they recommend starting
40.
now. 40 years old.
Yep.
So if you're a woman who's 40 years old and you haven't had a mammogram yet, you can just call the hospital and get one scheduled. And October is actually Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so
Sure. Oh,
it's a great time to get scheduled because we have giveaways for every patient that gets a mammogram that month. Then we have raffles to enter. We do a lot of things around it. We have these balls
Okay,
here.
I was wondering what these- what
yeah.
is this?
So we also put on some breast cancer awareness events. The first one is October 4th is the volleyball game, and the ethanol plant, First National Bank, and Mapes and Millers host that volleyball event, and for every dig, which never played volleyball. I was a cross country runner. I couldn't even tell you what a dig is. But for every dig, they donate towards breast cancer awareness funds, and we throw out these
And they're
volleyballs
pink,
and give away.
right?
Yes.
I'm colorblind, but I can tell those
Yes,
are pink.
this one is especially pink. And
Yeah,
then
right. Yeah, it
one
is.
football game in October. There's 2 home games, so they haven't decided which game yet. They also raise awareness. The boys usually wear pink socks, and they have fun, and we throw out the footballs. So
I know the volleyball, they get so much for each kill, is it, or something, or what is it?
kill, dig. Did you play volleyball? I don't know.
I think it is each kill. It's
Each
like
kill.
when they
So you spike
the ball.
it. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I just
And
ran. I don't
that's
know.
great. If you care enough, wear pink. So
Yep.
that's good.
Yep.
Oh,
So it's a great time if you haven't gotten one or it's time to get one. October's a great time to do it because you get some goodies as well.
So if you're out there and you're 40 and have never had a mammogram, just
Come see
contact
us.
you. Very important.
It is
Yes.
very important. And how long does an exam take? It doesn't
10
take very
minutes.
long.
It's
Yeah.
honestly very quick, very simple. And it really isn't as painful as everybody tells you it is.
Yeah.
Is a lot of technical? I mean, you really have to be a smart person to do the equipment, you know. Or
She's
the-
I like to
extremely
think
smart.
so, yeah. You have to be very smart.
We are lucky. Katie comes with a lot of experience. And
Sure.
she is very intelligent, and like she said, she also has ultrasound experience. So we're excited to capitalize on some of her experience even more in the future.
That's
We're looking at what other services we could add on going down the road. So some of our future planning really revolves around Katie and our imaging department.
Wow, very good. Well, sounds like you're enjoying what you do, and you're really helping the community. Plus the fact that we now have this in Phillips County, you don't have to.
Yep. You don't have to
Have
That's
to
been the
drive
biggest
far.
comment I've heard. Nobody likes to drive to Hayes to get their
Yeah,
mammogram.
sure.
For a 10-minute
Yeah.
screening. Yep. Now you can just get it, like
Okay.
she said, on your lunch break or.
Yep.
Well, very good. Well, anything else? Just give a call again, 40 and over, and you should have one every year, right? Is
Yep,
that an
yearly.
annual?
Yep.
Once you get started, every
Yep.
year. Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank
Katie.
you.
All right. All right, I want to talk some things about the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number one, how's the new entrance working?
Yep, so after Labor Day, we opened up our new entrance on the east side. And notice I got the right direction this time. Last week I said the west, but it is where you used to go for outpatient clinic, or before that was long-term care. So it's the bay of windows. And it's going really well. We're still trying to educate the community so that it's not an inconvenience when they go to the old main entrance that was kind of in the middle of the hospital ground level. That now you want to use that big parking lot area. And all of registration is right there when you walk in the doors. So that's where you want to go first. It's open until 5 p.m. So 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. those are the doors you're going to use. If it's an evening or a weekend, you're going to use the ER entrance.
Sure.
And you're going to use the ER entrance if it's a true emergency, or if you're also there after hours for access care or urgent care clinic. So some of the feedback we've gotten from the community is it's easier parking. We now have a drop-off zone right there by the doors, so you don't have a long way to go if you need to. You do have to go from the outpatient area, a little bit of a walk if you're there for labs or radiology, but the nice thing is that you can then just exit those ER doors and you're right in the parking lot. So overall, it does save walking because you don't have to go all the way back around, all the way back around, where you used to have to go upstairs and then back downstairs.
Right.
So overall, it'll save you some time.
And, you know, if someone should happen and forget to go the old way, they can make it around there.
Yes, you can still get up
it's
there.
A little bit of a trip, though, if you
It
do
is,
it that way. So
yeah.
just go in the east entrance there, and it makes it
Yes.
a lot easier to do that. And, of course, then that opens up the area back there where the registration was. That's my understanding. Is that where the board will have meetings and stuff like
Yep.
that?
So we have converted our first floor to be Senior Life Solutions, which is our geriatric program. And so a lot of our programs for seniors, our stepping on clinics, our Senior Life Solutions will be in that first floor. So we moved our conference room upstairs to our old registration area in the middle of the hospital, since now all registration's on that east entrance. That's now where you'll go for if you're there for trainings, if you're there to attend a board meeting, any of those educational events you might come to the hospital will most likely be on that second floor in the old registration bay.
Okay. All right. Is that where the meeting is today?
I bet it will be.
Okay. All right.
I don't have it on my calendar. I didn't check which room they had, but the conference table has been moved, so I bet it will be there today. Yep.
Okay. That new doctor.
Yes,
Tyson,
we're very
what's-
excited. Tyson Weisinger has started in the clinic. He isn't establishing patients yet, but he's taking in those calls that come in for strep throat or earache or a fall lesion. So he's kind of doing our work-ins at the clinic to kind of get him started. And then in October, he'll be doing his established patient care, those chronic illnesses. So we are asking people that are interested in getting under care for Dr. Weisinger to call the clinic now to start scheduling for October, because that's just around the corner. And we're going to have his open house on September 20th, I believe, Thursday, from 11:30 to 1:30. Come and go. There'll be refreshments. There'll be raffles. Our auxiliary is taking care of hosting it, so I know it'll be delicious food. And come out and meet him, meet his family, and get to know him. He's from here originally, so we're really excited to have him.
And we're going to try to have him on the Tadpoll next week
Yes,
to talk about
yep,
that.
and he'll be on to talk
He's from
about
the
some
area,
stuff.
right?
He is, and he has a plethora of experience. He's board certified in family medicine, and he's done rotations in OB and pediatrics and geriatric care. He's very broad range, so I'm pretty excited that there's somebody who has that kind of experience joining our team. Already established care for this little one that's coming in a week or two, that those well baby visits and those first visits, since he has that pediatric
Wow.
experience and OB experience, he'll be taking care of that. So it's good to know.
And another doctor,
Another doctor, yeah.
Doctor here
It
to
helps,
see,
and it
so-
helps oversee our mid-levels. We have an amazing team of mid-levels, of PAs and advanced nurse practitioners, but they need a doctor to oversee them.
Sure.
So that's nice for Dr. Ben to have some of that workload distributed, and also Logan Manor and our retirement center. Those kind of things have to be overseen by a doctor, so it's nice to have a second one to help with that.
You know, I think and I have a son that's a doctor, and he said, Dad, if they didn't have, there's so much paperwork anymore and stuff. He says we can't be doctors anymore. You have to do all the other stuff, you know.
It is hard. Yeah, we started a new electronic medical record, and that's been, now the doctors have to enter in a lot more what the nurses used to enter in, and so that does make their appointments longer, and we're trying to figure out how to do that scheduling and stuff, because now the doctors are doing more and more paperwork, and it's more entering than just dictation. That used to go a little faster, so
yeah, so-
still trying to figure all of that out as we make those adjustments.
So we're trying to have Tyson on next
Yes.
week here. All right, then that's next Thursday, a week from today.
Next
right?
Thursday is
So-
his open house. It'll be in that new entrance on the east side, and it'll be right there in the lobby from 11:30 to 1:30.
Okay, all right. Just should go out and we're welcome. He's here already, but just learn a little more about what.
Yeah,
the
welcome him to
family
our
is.
community.
Okay.
We're a great, friendly community. We want his family to be welcomed back. It's always hard a little bit to move back to the area. I'm sure your husband's experienced that as well. You're coming back home, but there's that adjustment period as well. If you're not the kid anymore,
It
and
is hard to
Getting that-
come back home
can be.
because people around here remember you when you were 7 years old, and all of a sudden you're a doctor now. you know.
yes,
So
yes, yeah.
Okay.
I'll forever be Mason. It's
Sure.
okay.
All right. I also, just might mention Kurt Erickson. I've known Kurt for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He played Van Johnson baseball for Great Bend. I played Van Johnson baseball for Garden City. We played against each other.
Oh, wow.
Way
There's some
back,
good stories.
But I had no idea. And then later on, we kind of hooked up. Said, well, I played. And so we remembered playing, but I don't remember what he did. So Kurt Erickson, of course, passed away. And you can see the family tonight at the mortuary, and then the funeral's tomorrow morning. But you had some comments about
Yeah,
Kurt.
Kurt
Very
has
important in
been
healthcare.
very important in healthcare. I've always known him growing up. You know, he was always Kurt Erickson. And anybody who knows him knows he's very willing to share his story, and has a plethora of articles and movies and things that he's collected over the years. And what an impressive background he had in healthcare. He started out as, I believe, the CEO for our hospital in the very beginning, and then went to go on as, I believe, the first CEO for Great Plains Health Alliance, and helped found that. And so from the 50s through, I think he retired in 91, he was the CEO of that company. And of course, they manage and lease hospitals in rural. And so his specialty was in rural healthcare. And he has served on pretty much every major organization for hospitals in the United States. He's served as on the board for the Kansas Hospital Association, for the American Hospital Association. He's served on different boards for critical access hospitals for rural healthcare. He was appointed by, I believe it was Bob Dole that appointed him to some specialty advisory groups for the legislation and stuff on rural healthcare and how that works. And he was the only one for rural healthcare. The other ones from bigger cities and things. And so he was the voice for rural healthcare for our nation for a long time. And one of my favorite things to talk to him about when he was in the hospital or visiting, or if I was out visiting him at the assisted living, is he actually started the swing bed program. And the swing bed program is when you need that extra time to heal or recover after a serious illness or a surgery or any of that, and you're not really inpatient hospital, but you're not ready to be home yet. You can have this swing bed where you're just kind of having once a week with your doctor, and you're still getting that physical therapy, still getting nutritional therapy and that sort of thing. So he helped start that and fund that program. And then here we are decades later, and he's utilizing that program.
Yeah.
And just how interesting that whole circle went. And he was very fundamental in a lot of things in rural healthcare.
Kurt Erickson, of course, I mentioned the funeral's 11 tomorrow morning.
11 on
Lutheran
Friday,
Church.
yes.
Church,
Zion
and of
Lutheran, I
course,
believe.
one of us says Bruce, he's a basketball coach, and I've known Bruce for a long time. He helped me do broadcasts, in fact. So our condolences to the Erickson family. But yeah, Kurt, he was great to have around.
Yes, he'll be greatly missed. He was always my go-to if I needed to know something about our history at the hospital or anything. He was always the first call that we made, and we're just really going to miss that plethora of knowledge that he had.
Very good. Thanks for coming on the morning again, Tara and Katie. I hope that the things keep working there. It's great that Phillips County now has a mammogram machine. Okay, very good. Thank you. Will you come next week with Tyson?
Yes.
Okay,
yep.
very good.
You
Okay,
just
fine.
keep getting me
Thank
lately.
you. All right, again, if you're over 40 and have never had a mammogram, you can get in the system, and you don't have to drive anywhere now. You can just come to the Phillipsburg Hospital, and they'll take care of you there. Thank you again. Okay.
Thanks, Tad.
Cricket Cole will be joining us next. Cricket will talk about what's coming up this weekend after we take this time out.
Coombs Incorporated in Phillipsburg, offering local and long-distance hauling, complete shop service, including an automatic aluminum polisher to restore and refurbish those aluminum truck rims to a mirror finish, and 24-hour towing service. Now hiring over-the-road drivers traveling 48 states. Excellent benefit and package. See Coombs Incorporated on Facebook. Coombs Incorporated. You call, we haul.
Yeah, Wes is up.
Back we are on the Tadpoll. Another thing that has been growing kind of like topsy through the years is the treasure hunt on Highway 36. And Cricket Cole was with us this morning. And Cricket, how long have you been involved with the treasure hunt?
10 years.
Wow, 10 years.
This is the 13th year. When I moved here in 2008, I got involved that first summer. The treasure hunt actually started in Scandia and Belleville in 2006. So this is actually the 13th year.
Wow.
And I have been doing the state coordinating for the Highway 36, and I work for them all throughout the year.
How hard is it to coordinate all these towns on 36 in Kansas for the treasure hunt?
It can be a challenge, but I will tell you that we have actually a list of about 35 different wonderful people across the state in every county and every participating town. So they help. If they're putting together their maps, they bring them to me. We upload them to the website, and everything is linked. We just looked at our statistics last night. we've had over 18,000 hits, 18,707 to be exact,
Wow.
as of 9 o'clock last night.
Wow.
And we have 35 towns participating from the Missouri border. And this year, we actually have Cope, Colorado,
Okay.
which is on the Highway 36.
Sure.
It is 55 miles west of St. Francis.
Mm-hmm.
So we are very lucky that this year we're incorporating some new people into the
Sure.
fold, as it were. And here in Phillipsburg, we have actually 35 locations for people offering sales of everything from a 50-cent yard sale item to an antique, or even a boat that the people out at the Sand Trap restaurant are trying to sell. So, yeah, there's a wide range and choice of a little bit of everything.
Okay, now where are these maps available? You can get on the site, but also these maps are available, right?
Correct. These, locally, you can pick up these maps at Alta and Love's gas stations. You can pick them up at the Chamber on Friday. You can pick them up at the Sale Barn. Of course, that's where my office is located, which is right south of Highway 36 on 183. Big signs, you can't miss the Sale Barn. And all four of the banks right now.
Okay.
All four of the banks have them as well.
Okay, so pick it up, and each one
Yeah.
tells what it is, and
And you
tells
can
what-
actually download this as a PDF.
Okay.
Yeah, but I will tell you that when we looked at our statistics last night, we found that 58% of our page views came from mobile units, which tells us that a lot of people are using their Android phones, their tablets, their iPads, and they're preferring to actually just look at the Google link, click on the pin will open and tell you what's available and what hours and what
Wow,
people are
sure.
selling.
Okay. So now, is it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or okay?
It's advertised nationally as Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but we already have some people who have set up on Thursday and even Wednesday yesterday.
Sure.
So we have a lot of pickers, if you will, that come from all over the United States. We know of some from Texas and Oregon and Vermont and Michigan and Wisconsin that we have already met in the past that come up here regularly.
Would they start the east and just drive, or the west and drive east or drive west on 36, right?
And to give a plug to our favorite next door neighbors, our Nebraska junk jaunt people, what a lot of people do is they actually plan, especially if they are pickers or treasure hunters, they will actually do treasure hunt this weekend. They'll travel either east to west or west to east. They'll make the loop and go up to Nebraska. And next weekend is the Nebraska junk jaunt. So lots of different reasons to come to this
Sure.
part of America during this time of the year.
Wow. And anyone, do all these people have a sign? Will they have a sign that?
The signs are in their yard and are visible, and they are corresponding to the number here. So you can read what the number
So the
says,
number here tells what they have.
tells
right?
what hours they're going to
Wow.
be open and what primarily their big number items might be, like the 5 top items might be, to draw attention.
Wow, and this has really grown to be. It's a nice little thing. People come from all over.
Again, we have people from all over America that come, of course, predominantly from all throughout Kansas, of course. But it's a big deal. It's been going on for 13 years. And there is one thing I'd like to take a real special moment. You know, we're all human. We can all make mistakes. And I've made a boo-boo. So on the map, I want everyone to know that number 28, if you got the first edition of the map instead of the one that you can download from the website now, we need to know that there's a correction. On number 28, the people are selling barn finds, collectibles, quilts, tea towels, books, crafts, clothes, garden items, pictures, kitchenware, fishing poles,
Gee.
old dishes, lamps, and galvanized items, and Tupperware, and more. We want to make sure that we get that word out because we are embarrassed that number 28 line item was misprinted on the first edition of the
Okay.
map.
Okay, so we've got that out, and
Yeah.
do you every year people come through from? You renew a lot of acquaintances when they come through.
We do have a lot of people. Even the Cottonwood Inn will tell you that Amy down there has been hosting, obviously, our treasure hunters since the beginning, back in 8 and 9. And very honestly, Cottonwood Inn will tell you that they've had people that book a year ahead to make sure they have a room.
Yeah.
And I know Travelodge and Econolodge, all three now receive traffic.
Wow.
And our restaurants, of course, love treasure hunters.
Sure.
Janice down at the Pickle will tell you that she's a very popular place for people to see.
Well, that's great, and
Yeah.
and so it's some people have it out now, but officially it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And
Officially, it's advertised Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sale Barn will be open until 9 o'clock every night. And I know that Mr. Beach over at Kansas Peddler, he's across from Wix Muffler, and Wix Muffler is
Right.
joining this year. But the Kansas Peddler Antique Shop is right on Highway 36. They will be open late every night, I know. Also, Roger Wyman from Firestone, he has always rented the Yellow House next door to Shelly Ann's.
Right,
So
yeah.
people can actually shop and eat at Shelly Ann's and at Linda's 3rd Street Bakery if they want to walk around the corner.
now, where the maps? Number one, if they want to get on, what are they on? Treasure hunt or what on the internet? What
All
is
they
it?
have to do is really they can Google it and say Treasure Hunt US
Mm-hmm. 36,
or they can actually use the URL address, which is, of course, www.ushwy36.com. It's really easy. And if you just plug in Kansas Treasure Hunt into Google, our website is the first one
Okay,
that comes
great.
up.
Okay. So
Thanks for
just,
asking.
and a lot of people have an opportunity to drive through and pick up some treasures, like you say. There are treasures there.
We have had everything from, like I said, this year, I've had people tell me that they're selling their boats, their motorcycles. We do know that the people at Performance Auto, which is right on the corner of 183 and 36, the people down there at Performance Auto are also doing the garage sale, and they actually have some antique kitchen equipment from the 1920s.
Wow.
And they also have some game, like pinball machines, and some beverage dispenser machines that date back to the 1940s and 50s. So if you're looking to buy antique type machinery like that, or games like the pinball machine type things, definitely check out Performance Auto here in Phillipsburg.
Okay, all right. Well, just to get started and start here, well, the thing to do is go either west or east of the state line. Well, of course, get a cope, you go clear in the cope and then start the cope and go east, and of course,
Exactly.
out there,
May I mention also that Mrs. Grau out on the Road 100, which is 1 mile west on the Ridge Road, just past the Fort Bissell, go past the Fort Bissell on Ridge Road to the 100 Road and turn north. They're having a multi-family estate, a garage sale, estate sale. She always has lots of wonderful, interesting things
all right,
there.
very good.
So, yeah, don't forget Deb Hayes and Mrs. Grau.
you,
They've been participating for years.
you working this whole year long, to get things, or
Actually, the registration begins in August, and we try to cut off registration by no later than September 5th so that we can
well, you want
organize
to
and
know
get
so you
things
can have a
printed.
map and everything.
Yeah,
so people-
it's actually, because when you're dealing with 35 or more towns across the state, it is actually impossible to print something in a just-in-time or in advance, because people oftentimes wait until the week of to ask if they can be on the map.
yeah.
And that makes it impossible
Sure.
for us to print anything. That's why we use the internet, and more people that are internet savvy and travel with their Android phones or their tablets, they can just go, they zoom into the map, they can click on the pin, and we try to tell our coordinators to be sure to put the information about the hours and what's for sale.
Okay, well, very good, Cricket. We appreciate.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Well, it's a great. This has really grown, and it's a big thing. It helps all the communities along here.
From a standpoint of commerce and tourism, we average approximately 45,000 people
Ooh, wow.
traveling Highway 36 for this week.
Okay.
Yeah. So KDOT loves us or they hate us.
Okay. Fine. Thank you, Cricket. We hope that things go well this weekend.
Thank you very much for your time.
Cricket Cole with us this morning and concerning the U.S. Highway 36 treasure hunt, and we'll be back, I think, to talk about the Community Foundation in just a moment after we take another timeout.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Let us shop for you. Contact Rogers & Associate to learn more.
More single with us this morning. Also, Amber Rush with us to talk about things the Community Foundation. Before we talk about grants and everything, another big race coming up. What's the official? It has to be official because we don't want to be sued, right?
Right.
Okay. Amber, what's the official designation of the race?
Right. So we are the Amazing Race of Phillips County, and we are not affiliated in any way, shape, or form with the television show, The Amazing Race.
Sure.
But we have modeled some of our things after that show. And what it is it's for our Match Your Money Month. And we have designated, again, October as Match Your Money Month, as we have the past 3 years. And what that means is if we in Phillips County can raise $50,000, Dane G. Hansen will match that $50,000 to go into an unrestricted endowment for our county, meaning it's unrestricted, which is the biggest thing. That means it can go anywhere it needs to go in Phillips County when we open up grant requests for that fund.
That's okay. Let's talk about the race. I've been a meeting, you've been meeting and all kinds of things. We won't give away any secrets, but this year it's a little different. Last year was countywide. This year we're going to be in the city of Phillipsburg, right?
Right. As you do anything the first time, you learn a lot. You learn what to do and what not to do and how things should be done. So this year, we're having the race in Phillipsburg. So all of the challenges, right now we have 8 locations where teams will be going to do challenges to complete their race, is just in Phillipsburg. And then our hope next year is to host the race in Logan. So we're kind of getting excited about that too. So last year, we did all sorts of fun things. I think there's only one challenge from last year that will be repeated this year.
And the challenges are really challenges. I think that they're fun. You must laugh to yourself when you're thinking some of these things up, right?
It is. And last year we had a lot of people say maybe it was a little bit too physical, like they didn't want to be doing burpees or they didn't want to be running to, I don't think we had them run from the courthouse over to the Fisher Building to make their flower arrangements that were donated by Blossoms and Butterflies, and then they delivered those to the retirement, the nursing homes.
Sure.
And so we're still trying to work in our community effect, but I think I kind of figured that stuff out last night. So 8 locations, fun challenges, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but anybody could do them.
Sure. Okay.
So.
All right, now, looking for teams. You want to talk about the teams, or Morris, you want to talk about, how does this foundation, how do we make money on this? What happens on
Okay,
it?
well, we need corporate sponsors who will support a team, and ideally, if you have a business and their employees want to participate, then the company that they work for, the business they work for, sponsors them, and then they compete, sort of representing their business. However, we do have some people who work in a business that doesn't have that many employees or whatever, and then they form a team, and then we'll find a corporate sponsor for them. The money that the corporate sponsor pays to the foundation then is what is matched by the Hansen Foundation.
Sure.
So it's really, you get double your money and a fun time to sponsor.
And haven't we done it? Haven't we hit the 50,000 every year? Haven't we
Yes,
done it?
yes.
So, which gives us 100,000. And
Right.
And I think one of the things I like about it is when you get together and start looking at the grants and things, and Hansen kind of takes care of whether they're eligible. I mean, they know if
Right.
something's
On the
eligible for it.
community
There are
grants,
guidelines
right,
on this.
Right.
So,
And we follow those guidelines so that everything stays kosher with the IRS.
sure, and you can't 5,000 is the limit to one person. I mean, you can't. Is that
They can give more than 5,000, but only 5 will be matched.
cap for match with
Right,
that? Okay,
right.
so that they. So someone can't come in and say, "I'll give you 50,000 and match it." You have to do a little
Yeah.
work to get this.
Yeah.
Get this.
We'd like to talk to that guy, but
So
But,
how are the teams looking now? How many do you?
we're still forming them and shaping them up. I think we're at 6 now, probably, and
Okay.
we still have some recruiting to go.
Sure.
I think our goal again is at least 12 teams like we had last year. But our route and our challenges are set up to where we can host more teams. So of course, the more teams we can get, and I don't want the sponsorship to scare people, because if you want to participate in this race, even if you can come to us with your team and you have maybe $200 to put towards your entry fee, we as board members in Morris will help you find those other sponsorships so we can get you running in that race.
What is the entry fee? What's it?
It's $2,000.
Okay,
is the
but
corporate-
it's the whole 2,000. But there are ways to get
Right.
to the 2,000.
Right.
We had many people that would just kind of join forces. Maybe we had people from multiple locations or businesses that would join together to reach that goal. And we also have some corporations that sponsor 2 teams, but maybe they don't have the people to run the race for 2 teams.
Okay. And any age group you can have maybe.
We do go down to 12, 12 years old. Of course, you'd have to, only 2 that young can be on a team, because there is transportation involved and that sort of thing.
And how many on a team?
4.
4 on a
4-person team.
So if you have 25 teams, that's times
That'd be the-
2,000. That's
that'd
it.
be our-
Yeah, you
we'd
got
meet
your
our goal,
50,000. Yeah,
right.
that's the
We
ideal
do-
thing.
We do have some other giving, which
Sure.
puts us over the top.
Right.
So
Okay.
this
So
is part of it.
I think another part of reaching that $50,000 goal is that Hanson has kind of upped the ante to say, and that if we meet our goal, if we raise our 50,000, not only are they matching that $50,000, but then they're also giving us an additional
20.
$20,000 that goes into an endowment for the use of the foundation to do what we do,
wow.
to
Okay.
help with our operations and our fundraising and those kind of things. And so that's a little icing on the cake,
Yeah, we're
essentially.
in a way, if we meet our goal, I mean, they'll match anything up to 50,000. So if we don't make our goal, but if we do, then it kicks us over into the
Wow.
additional
The bonus.
20,000.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
so we're looking forward
Okay,
to.
so look at that.
We've done that one time, so now we're going after it one more time.
Okay. So are the rules and regulations and have they been set up yet? Or pretty much like last year.
Pretty much. It will just be a start from the high school track, and it will finish at the high school track, and then all the participants, will feed them a barbecue meal at the end. And we had a lot of fun last year, and if you talk to anybody that participated in it, they can definitely give you some of their favorites and not favorites.
Do you have
I think-
challenges from one, like maybe one firm challenge another firm? Do you get anything like that where there's some competition among teams? Do you see that at all?
There is a lot of competition between teams.
Well, yeah, because
but
A little bit of smack talk going on already.
Yeah, it's been a little bit more of, yeah, well, so's your mother, that kind of thing, and that just adds to the fun.
So what does the winner get? I mean, you have a winner, obviously.
Yes, so the teams, when they sign up, they designate a nonprofit agency that can receive the winning $500. So
Wow.
you form your team, and then you choose your nonprofit that when you win the race, gets that money.
Could go to the wellness center or something like that.
Yeah,
or
any
whatever.
nonprofit.
Any nonprofit entity.
If you want to donate to CASA this year, just whatever that's
Wow.
really in the heart of the team.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and last year I know talking to people, it was a lot of competition there, and
Yeah,
a
it's
lot of
a
bragging rights.
Oh, yeah.
And a
Yeah.
lot of bragging rights in that, aren't there?
We've even talked about a traveling trophy. So
Yeah.
this may be the year to get
Okay,
serious
what's the date on
about
that?
October the 7th. It's a Sunday afternoon.
Oh, that's coming up here.
Last year, most of the events were outside. We really got lucky on the weather, but we've prepared for weather either way. So there'll be some inside events, and they're really fun. So
And the other night they talked about the different challenges, and I won't. Well, some of them
Don't
sound
give
like,
them any hints.
it was and a lot of great challenges, and it's got to be fun figuring out how you're going to do this. Where do you get the ideas for this? You just stay up all night thinking of this?
Really, I just kind of pay attention throughout the year. If I see something, I also
Sure.
do a youth group, and so a lot of the things that I do in youth group, I'm kind of compiling, and I may or may not have tried some of those things out on my youth group to see how it works.
And I think that the winner of this, the team winner, they do not get to go on national TV, right? I mean, there's nothing to do.
We're not connected in any. This is not a qualifying
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And okay, on the 7th, at what time does it start?
Sunday the 7th at 1:30 is when the race begins.
At the football.
At the football stadium. Anybody that wants to either be a participant, maybe they just want to get involved and help out and work a station, help us
My
work
next
a
question:
station.
you need volunteers?
Absolutely.
Obviously, there's only nine
There's only
board
9
members.
board members, and we
Yeah,
can't
so
do it
it's
all,
kind of
so-
hard. So you do take volunteers.
Right, and we don't just want them in Phillipsburg. You know, last year the race took us to every community in Phillips County, and we had great support in all of those communities with running the challenges, and they had lots and lots of meetings to attend. We've kind of streamlined it all this year, but yes, we still need those community volunteers.
And
Come and
the
help.
good thing is that the unrestricted endowment grants, once that program opens up here, those are eligible to all the communities in the county. So
Sure.
it's helpful if they'll participate too at this
Well,
level,
sure, because
you know, to raise it and
the
then to
money,
receive
the
it.
grants go out to.
Right.
It's not a Phillipsburg thing; it's a Phillips County thing,
Right.
and a lot of Logan and Kerwin.
Yeah, Agra and
Blake,
Kerwin have participated, and Speed, well, every community, as you
Sure.
said.
Okay.
And every community has received grant funds in some way, shape, or form in the past couple of years, so.
Right.
All right. What about the lip sync? Do you want to talk about that at all?
Well, we're still in the working
I'm still working on that.
parameters of that, but we're planning on maybe having a lip sync competition.
Okay.
It'll be a very small entry fee. We're hoping to get clubs and groups and those kind of things.
Do you ever lip sync?
No.
I remember when I was in high school. I used to lip sync stuff, and I didn't think I thought I was the only person in the world that did
My
that.
kids might wish I lip synced.
In my bedroom, I'd have the radio on. I'd be lip syncing, looking in the mirror. Hey, what's this thing?
Yeah, it's kind of, there's also a TV show that is kind of
Right,
like a lip
sure.
sync challenge,
Well,
but we thought it would
okay.
just be a fun way to get a different generation involved in our fundraising,
And aware of the foundation.
and aware of what the foundation is and what it does, because there's just still
so
so many people that don't
If there's
know.
someone out there, let's get grouped together. They contact you, Morris. Is
Yeah,
that-
that'd be great, yeah,
Okay,
the
'cause
foundation.
get more teams
and,
to help out because, and we talked before you, the foundation, the Phillips County Health Foundation we were talking about, they and the hospital grant on the mammogram, so it's a very important thing. Not only do you raise money, but you have fun doing it,
Yeah, it's a real,
There weren't any divorces or anything after last year's race,
Boy,
was
not
there?
to my knowledge. There were some angry participants that think other ones cheated, though. So I don't know if I'm ever going to live that
Okay,
down.
so if you want to volunteer, contact Morris, or if you want to get a team together, and you'll help them find a sponsor, right?
yeah, if they can't find one themselves, but even a family could
Sure.
even do it.
Yeah,
Mom,
sure.
dad, and the 2 kids, and say, hey, let's go try to win $500 for the 4-H,
church
or
or
for
for the
Bloodmobile or
community, for the
something.
church or
Yeah,
something like
could
that.
go to
Okay.
that. So.
Just okay,
Yeah,
very good.
Good way to do it, and you'll have a blast all afternoon. You get
Sure.
to have a barbecue at the end.
Yeah,
of
well.
it, so
It's all part of it.
can't lose.
Okay. Well, we've got you here. Grant applications. You're accepting yours now. What?
Beginning Monday, the community grant round for the fall will open. You go to phillipscountycommunityfoundation.org on the internet. That will guide you to the online application, and you just put that together, and you have until November 15th to work on a project.
Okay, so and the grants, the applications, and then they work on it, and if it's eligible,
Right.
then we get it back and get this figure out.
We score them and decide, and we try to stretch the 50,000 as far as it can
Sure.
go, but we've really done some good things.
It's fun too because you're going to be $50,000, and it's someone else's money. That's easier to do, isn't it?
Time to spend that, yeah.
It is, but I think sometimes people feel overwhelmed, like, oh, I have to write a grant. But the Hansen Foundation, through the what is the new one?
Greater Northwest.
Greater Northwest. We're used to saying Salina. They have it all on a website now, so it's really easy just to log on. You create an account, and it just asks you the questions that you just fill in, and then you have to upload a budget. And so some people really panic about, oh, I don't know how to write a grant. I have to take a class before I can write a grant. And it's really not that way anymore, not with this system. So even I can log on
and it's easy to do it. You just ask about this, and then
you can save it and come back to it if you forgot to think about something. Or, and of course, the budget's important because we have to know how are you going to spend the money and what's it for.
We talked about this year. That who's eligible?
Okay,
we got new guidelines on that.
Okay, any nonprofit or 501c3, churches are eligible, governmental units like the Shade Tree Committee or something like that, and schools. It can't go towards normal school costs, but if you have a new program, math or reading or something like that, we've been really helpful in helping the new carpentry class get up and going with some tools and that sort of thing.
On the middle school here, they did on the gym.
Yeah, the acoustic tiles around the gym to make it more pleasant for kids and spectators.
A lot of the flower things around the county, where the
right, those are the
beautification.
Beautification, yeah. Just go by the health department and see the county's redone the sidewalks, and then the plantings and stuff have been added through the beautification.
So if you organization or school or something can help with the little funding, just get on there. What do they go to again?
Phillips County Community Foundation.org.
.org, and they can go ahead. All right, very good. All right, well,
starting Monday.
All right.
Yeah, they'll be available.
All right. Well, sounds like the race they're planning there, and that's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun Sunday.
I think this year it'll be more fun just because we're a lot more confident in what we're doing. That first time around, it was fun, but it was nerve-wracking.
Second annual.
Yeah,
all right, Amber, thanks for coming on. We'll probably have to have you on here again as we get the Thursday before that, maybe. But no hints on anything. But
no, that would be cheating, Tad.
Thanks for coming on
Thank
this
you.
morning. Okay, Amber with us this morning, and also Morris concerning the great race in Phillips County Community Foundation. I think Wes Hall's next. If I'm right here, we'll be talking to Wes after we take this time out. Okay, back on the Tadpoll for this Thursday morning, and Wes Hall is joining us, and sounds like a lot of things are going to be happening on the encore for some of the older folks.
As fall gets here, we start ramping up for some of the things that we're doing. So
okay, so what's happening?
Well, as every month we have a game night at the senior center, and so this weekend is the game night for this month. It'll start at we start at potluck about 5:30, and then we have the games and bingo and stuff like that starting after about 6 and stuff. So That'll be this Saturday. Yeah,
What kind of games do you play? What do you do there?
Well, it starts with bingo. The majority of the ones that come want to do the bingo, and they do that for about an hour or so. But we also have different kinds of board games. Yeah, like we do sequence. I'll do chess if somebody wants to play that, but most of the time it's a matter of having to teach somebody how to do it because everybody says they don't know how. But we have just about any kind of board game that you can imagine. And there's card games and stuff too. They have a game that they call hand and foot that a lot of them like to play, and so they usually do that after they do bingo.
Yeah.
So
that's coming up this
that'll
Saturday.
be this Saturday,
At
yeah.
the center over here.
Yes.
Okay, then what? What else do you have planned?
Well, as you know, I've been teaching guided autobiography for the summer, and that's coming. The first class is coming to a close, and so I'm getting ready to start another one, and I'm looking at probably starting at the end of September. I'll start a new class for that. The old one we're probably going to try to continue on with some different things. Go in a little bit different direction from what we've been doing, but continue with the more of the writing end of it rather than the.
And I've been going to classes. I haven't lately because it seems like I was somewhere every Thursday night. So do you have one more, like one or two more? We're going to determine that tonight.
Yeah, we'll discuss it tonight. Tonight could be the last one, or next week would be the last one. So, depending on how we want to go from there. But
and it's great because each week we had themes. We got a chance to write. That was fun, writing things, your autobiography, and you don't have to be planning a book. It's just the reason why I took the classes is I want to kind of leave something back for my grandkids and knowing how things went in my life, and not too many people do that. And this doesn't have to be anything professional. Just it gives you kind of hints. And so the last meeting tonight of this series, then we're going to decide which way we go. Is that okay?
Yeah, we'll decide if we want to continue on in the way that we've been doing, because I've got other themes and stuff we can use, or we can put more of the emphasis on the actual writing part of it and organizing it into a book form.
And we'll be hearing more about that. And we have your wife and 4 of us in the class there, and it's fun because you put stuff down on paper you never really thought of, and you had to think about that a bit. So
and we've been learning a lot about our past and bringing up a lot of memories that we didn't remember were there sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, then what else is happening?
The next month we have some AARP driver safety courses. The Encore Living started out sponsoring those, so I became an instructor for that. And the statewide driver safety program is offering some free classes in October. And part of this is because they've been finding some statistics that show that accidents have been increasing over the past couple of years, and fatalities for individuals over 65 has been increasing a little bit. So they're wanting to offer some classes to try to help with the driver safety. And so for October, we're going to offer them for free.
Wow, okay.
Normally it would be $20 for non-AARP members and $15 for AARP members. But for October, it's going to be free. I have one class scheduled in Kerwin on, I think it's October 11th. And then I have another one scheduled for Prairie View on October 24th, I believe, is the date. But the other exciting part of that is that our rehab department up here at the hospital have also been trained in what we call car fit, which is a kind of another component of the driver safety. The car fit helps you place your seat properly, make sure your steering wheel is right, and you know,
mirrors.
just your mirrors and stuff like that for that. So
I did that. I did that. It's really great.
They are certified and trained for that, and I've been talking to them, and we're going to have them do the car fit after I do the driver safety course. We'll do the driver safety probably in the morning, and then do the car fit in the afternoon. So we'll have those for both of those classes, and it's going to be totally free.
Okay.
And if you do take the course and get your certificate for it, you can take that to your insurance company, and they will probably give you a discount on your insurance.
Really? Okay. Wow.
So it's a really good course set up there.
So the say Prairie View and you say Kerwin?
Kerwin.
Okay. If you go to the Kerwin, will it be an addition or same thing? Will it be the same thing in Prairie View? Just go to one or the other, and you'll get the training and everything. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be the same class and the same car fit program. So.
Okay.
So you can go to either one.
So if someone's interested, should they contact you, or what do they do?
Probably the best place to call would be the libraries in both of those
Library,
towns.
okay.
You can call me. My number is 785-302-0910. I don't have the library's numbers memorized right now, but if you call the Kerwin Library or the Prairie View Library.
Very important. Over 65.
Anybody can come. The program is probably geared towards those over 65.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of the stuff that we talk about is going to reference people older, but any age can come, and any age that sits through it will get the discount on their insurance. So it's open to anybody.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a good thing. If you maybe a little instruction on driving and so on, and I'm sure over 65. I still drive everywhere, but I'm 85. But a little renewal wouldn't hurt, on stuff.
Yeah, it's always good to refresh our memories.
Yes, sure. That's
a lot of that. As I walk around the streets of Phillipsburg, I keep thinking that there's a lot of younger people that need to take this class too.
I'll agree there.
The way they drive.
Sure, right. Yep, right.
But there's a lot of good tips. Some of the things we've taken for granted, some things we've kind of forgotten a little bit of. But I mean, one of the things I've found out is that in the state of Kansas, we have a law that says you're supposed to stop at a sidewalk.
Right.
When you're coming out of an alley or you're coming like up to the intersection or something like that, you're supposed to stop behind the sidewalk.
Yeah, everyone's right on the
Most of us don't
That's
do
one
that.
of the biggest things,
And especially in crosswalks and stuff, everybody just pulls right up over the crosswalk. And then I'm standing there staring at them, trying to figure out how am I supposed to get through their car.
Okay, what else? Anything else?
That's, well, we've got a couple of other things that we're planning right now, but we don't have that firmed up yet. So
I'm glad you came on and talk about this Saturday night, and also the fact that and we'll come up with more. Maybe next week you can come on, maybe talk about what we decide tonight, the autobiography thing, and then again about the ARP. I think that's a great idea, and how they can again get the class, and I belong to the ARP, but it's free. The class is free.
It'll be free in October. Yeah, if we do it and if there's a class this month or a class in November, they'll charge for it. But in October, it's going to be free.
Okay, very good.
So,
all right. Well, Wes, thanks for coming on, and we'll plan on you next week.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Wes Hall with us this morning, talking about some things going on for the people in the Encore program. All right, we'll take another break. Is Angie out there? Okay, we'll get Angie in here in just a moment. Back after this timeout.
Your team have been named Scene 84, but this is for first interest. It's something more than you happy and better off. First National Bank and Trust in Phillipsburg, Logan, and Long Island, Smith County Bank in Smith Center, Solomon Valley Bank, Beloit. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Well, for the last couple of programs, Angie's a bit among the missing, but we got Angie back.
Yay!
Back this morning from Main Street and also the Phillipsburg area Chamber of Commerce. And what are we talking about this morning, Angie?
We're talking about Phillips County Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Okay.
And we are going to have an annual fall car cruise the fourth Saturday in September. So that'll be September 22nd.
Okay.
Is going to be a cruise night, and from 6 to 9, it's going to be from 6 to 7. It'll be you meet uptown at the courthouse square and kind of a show and shine, and then from 7 to 9 you can cruise up and down State Street.
Wow.
So we're inviting everyone that has a car or an old car, a new car, a fancy
that's
car,
my question. You
whatever.
have to have an antique car.
No.
Can I drive it in my
Yes.
2013 van?
Of course you can. Yes, as long as you have you just got to put something on it to rock it out. No, I'm just kidding. But no, anyone can come and just cruise up and down State Street. I mean, let's just have a party and let's just cruise and have a good old time. So yeah, anybody can, and we'll have music playing up there, cruise music and stuff, old time music and stuff. So it's just going to be a lot of fun. So that's going to be September 22nd. And then,
do you have to pre-register or anything? Just show up.
Just show up. Just show up. There's no fee, no anything. Just come and enjoy yourself for the night. You know, just have a fun night. We are having our first annual Take a Ride on the Wild Side bicycle event in Kerwin. That's also Old Settlers Day, October 6th. The short ride is going to be 6 miles, and the long ride will be 31 miles.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
So Tammy and I went out a couple weeks ago, and we did the 6 mile
You
one.
did?
Yes, we did. And, we both have not professional bikes or anything.
Sure.
We just have whatever bikes. And we did it, and it was so much fun. I mean, it was a blast.
Is it around the lake, or where is it?
It goes around, like I have a map here. Like, see, this is this is the 31 mile one, and this is the 6 mile one. And where are the oranges? So you start at the Quonset, and you're going to go, and you go around, and you just, follow this and whatever. And then the 31. But, yeah, you go down by the lake. You see geese, you see ducks, you see wildlife, sunflowers.
Maybe an eagle.
I mean, everything. And it just depends. You never know what you're going to see. But what's really neat is that they're going to have educational posters. The Kerwin National Wildlife Refuge is making educational posters at our stops that we're going to have, so people can watch what's taking place there, what kind of animals to watch for.
Wow.
And so that's really neat. They're really helping us out. It's going to be an amazing thing. When you register, you can register for $30 for adults and $15 for 5 to 12-year-olds. You can have $10 for if you just want a shirt, and they're going to be really cool shirts. We're having them made right now. And we'd like to just get people registered, and you can go on www.bikereg.com/take-a-ride-on-the-wild-side, and you can register that way, or you can send it in, print it off, send it in to us, and we'll have your shirts and stuff that day. And then also, if you don't register that day, you can register that day, but we'll get you a shirt. I mean, it may be a week or so, but we'll get you a shirt. Because I just think it's pretty neat when you do something like that and you want to take a shirt. And you're probably thinking 6 miles or 31 miles, but really it didn't take us that long, and not in the greatest shape, so it's not like it, you have to be in tip-top shape to go. It was just a fun thing. You could stop. It's not a race. It's just a ride.
Yeah, just go with someone, and talk about and see all this thing and have a chance. The big one goes all this way, it's Glade, and comes back around here.
You start at the Quonset, you go, and you're on the highway for about 4 miles, and then you go down here, not all the way to Glade, but you go here and around. and
All
you
right, I
kind
see
of
it.
go down
You
by
go around
the
the
lake
lake,
and
don't
stuff.
you? You just
Yeah,
go around the
yeah,
lake.
you go around the lake, and
Wow.
so it's really cool. When Tammy and I did it the other day, you know, it was warm in the morning, but it wasn't too bad. But you go by one spot, and you could hear the water coming up, and it would hit the land, and it was just so, and the breeze, just, it was so nice and refreshing. If you just need a break from everything, I mean, this is it.
Yes.
This is the event to
You
come
know,
to.
That's great. And what's
Yes.
it called again?
It's called
Right on the
Take a
wild side.
Ride on the Wild Side. Tammy designed this
Wow.
with the deer, you know, and
That's
the
neat.
animals.
Deer
and
riding a
everything.
bicycle.
Yeah, the deer's riding the bicycle, and so it's really cool. She designed that, so she's really creative, and she did a really good job. But
Now, someone's not too handy with getting on the computer. Can they pick one of these up at your office?
they're all over. We have them at different stores, and we have them at the office, and we have them at, you know, just different locations and stuff. I mean, we have a lot of, well, not a lot, but we do have a lot of out of town folks that already have done it.
That's
so
good.
We want some locals to do it also. But the United Methodist women are going to do the meal, or Teens for Christ.
Okay.
So we're going to have
Doing
kind of
a
a
meal,
brunch
too?
meal. Yes,
Wow.
and that's included in your $30
Wow.
or your $15 price, plus your shirt, plus all the educational stuff that you'll get, plus the exercise, plus just the being with people. So yeah, you want to ride a bike?
Or you can
walk.
I haven't ridden a bike in a long time.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe have someone push me in a wheelchair. All of this.
There we go.
Is that
That would be fine. That would be fine.
You know, I just got back to New York. I was there with the ladies, and the first day in New York, they pushed me over 10 miles in a wheelchair.
Wow.
Down
Good for
2 times.
them.
It was a great trip. But yeah, but I've not. They say once you know how to ride a bike, you never forget. I'm gonna have to see if I could ride a bike. That
Okay,
sounds
I
like
have
it'd
a
be fun.
bike just down the street.
Is that part of the Old Settlers Day thing?
No, actually, it's on that day, but this is a different event.
But I mean,
So-
but it's on the same day, right?
Yes,
Okay.
same day,
Okay.
same day. And so after you're done riding and you want to see the parade or go to Old Settlers Day and just make a day of it, you know, that derbies that night
All
and
right,
stuff. So
all right.
there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's just going to be a whole lot of fun.
Okay.
So, but yeah, Tammy will be on next week with me, and we will just
You
talk
come on
about
next
it. Yeah,
week?
yeah. So we'll
All
talk
right.
about it a little bit more. We'll have some more information.
great-
But it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
She came up
okay.
with a really great idea, and then, like we said, we have the Kerwin National Wildlife Refuge people that are helping, and there's like prairie dogs and stuff, and you can
Is
see
prairie
them.
dog? Is there a prairie dog farm out there?
There's prairie dogs somewhere on the
Yeah,
long
I
routes.
did. I drove out there one time to see that where
Uh-huh.
prairie dogs are.
Yeah, and it's just really neat. The sunflowers, and I mean, in October, you never know. Next month, the grass might be changing colors. It's just really, really pretty.
All right.
So there's that going on, and then as far as chamber stuff going on, Chamber and Main Street, we have a couple ribbon cuttings coming up. We have State Line Properties, which is in with Phillips County Abstract and Title, and then Eisenhagen and everything in Meadowlark. And then so it's going to be there on September 21st at noon. And then on September 26th, we're going to have a new, Cheney sold the chiropractic
Sure,
center,
right, so
and
new-
so we're going to have a ribbon cutting for the
Okay.
new owner.
All right.
So yes, we're very, very excited about that. And we just got a lot of neat things going on, and
How involved are you with the Treasure Hunt 36? Are you pretty?
I had the forms at the office that people could come and give me money, and then I'd give it to Cricket. As far as that, it's mainly Cricket doing all the
Sure.
Highway 36
Well, yeah,
stuff.
it's
I mean,
a
people stop in, you know, we'll kind of tell them what's going on and
Sure.
stuff. But before I started, they kind of gave up they used to have the annual garage sales
Right,
and stuff like
sure.
that, and the chamber gave that up. So I don't
Okay.
do much of that. But
Well,
it's so exciting of all the people that's in
That's very
town
good.
this week. That's going to be in town this weekend. I had to go to Mankato on Monday, and I seen a whole bunch of people already on 36 that were set up for the garage sales.
Right.
So it's really, I mean,
All right,
it's
all right.
pretty cool.
Brings a lot of people to town.
Yes, it
Okay,
does.
very
And
good. Well,
Somebody else's.
All
What
right,
is
well,
it?
we'll see you and Tammy next week.
Okay. What do they say about the somebody else's junk is somebody else's treasure? Is
Yeah,
that what they
you're
say?
right,
Yeah.
yes,
So
yeah, right.
you never know, but
Someone's trash is someone else's treasure.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, I've sure got a lot of trash. So I probably should have got together and had some. So I've got a lot of stuff.
You can just take it to somebody else and have them
Right.
have them sit there with it.
Okay,
So yep.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Tammy.
Thanks, Ted.
All right. I don't know. Is Lance out there? Okay, we're gonna have Lance on. Boy, good program this morning. A lot of visitors. We'll be back with Lance Munyon, Mayor of Phillipsburg, after this timeout.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
This is free. When insurance agents work for only one company, options are simply limited. But a Trust Choice Independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Let us shop for you. Contact Rogers and Associates to learn more.
And we're speaking with the mayor of Phillipsburg. Hi, Lance. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? Good to be here.
Lance Munyon, and we're going to talk about some things going on. A sign put up there at the bank corner there, they call it the bank corner, about road work being done, and the sign about, double the fines. What's happening on the west edge of Phillipsburg?
So they're going to be resurfacing the whole west side from 2nd Street on out to the city limits. So,
okay, so
that's that program that we got at a fairly reasonable rate.
The big bargain.
Big bargain.
So
so we're looking forward to getting that.
When do you plan on doing that?
It's supposed to start the 19th, I think.
Okay.
September 19th.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Are they going to mill it? Or are they going to mill it? Or
just resurface it?
Resurface
I
it?
think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what's going on in the city?
Well, we had an economic development advisory board meeting last night, and we've been working on our community vision, where we want to see things. We'll call it the 2030 vision.
Sure.
12 years out, things that we'd like to see in the community. And so you're going to see a lot more of that. We're going to be getting up in front of people and talking about the vision of what the board came up with, and then also solicit feedback on what did they miss? What do other people want to see that's not in their vision? So we can have it as a Phillipsburg vision.
Sure.
So,
right.
So that's the whole goal there. And we'll have we'll be meeting with different groups starting in November, and then we'll have a town hall November 14th, which will give a city update, as well as economic development vision of where they want to head, and then get feedback from people of what they want put in the vision.
Did you come out with anything last night? Is there anything that?
I mean, you've heard a lot of it.
Yeah.
I mean, the walking trail, making these city buildings ADA compliant. A lot of the strategic doing initiative things are in the vision. Having a sports complex. There's all kinds of things in it.
It sounds like things moving on. I know the ADA. One of the big things you'd like to make the city ADA, so the basement can be used there.
Well, the basement can be used, and then you also have the Hope Foundation room in the community building. They remodeled all that, but we can't really rent it out because it's not ADA compliant. You can't get, physically disabled people can't get down there. And then you have a beautiful upstairs if you remodel it.
Right.
That you can't get to either.
Sure.
So I think once you get that elevator in there, you'll be able. The public will have access to a lot more facilities and.
Yeah. Well.
So that's in. I do want to mention that fall cleanup is October 22nd.
Okay.
So get ready for that. And then we're city council on a couple Mondays ago approved the employee appreciation lunch. And so we're going to have one on September 28th from 11 to 1. So the city offices will be closed from 11 to 1, as well as the facilities as far as the aquatic center and stuff. and that's September 28th from 11 to 1. They'll be shut down so the employees can be shown the appreciation they deserve.
Will that be kind of a dinner or lunch?
Yeah, we're having a lunch for them.
Will that be open to the public, or is it
it's just
for the people,
for the employees, and the council?
You know, we're very fortunate. We have a good staff.
Good staff. Yes,
excellent staff.
And they've been very busy. I don't know if you've been on the south side of town, but we've been doing 2 water line replacements out by the high school on 7th Street, trying to get the water pressure there, replacing that 2-inch galvanized, and then the one that from 2nd Street on to Cable Road, that basically breaks at least once or twice a year. So
have you started using the 0.5% sales tax yet?
Well, the 0.5% sales tax stays in place through the end of the year, but it has to be used for sewer projects. So instead of shutting it down and then turning it back on in January, they said go ahead and keep it on. The Kansas Revenue Department said you could do that as long as you spent that money only on sewer projects, because that's what it was originally designated for.
Sure, right, yeah.
And then beginning in January, we can put it in there and we'll use it for streets, sewer, water, everything will be available for. So Tim is meeting with all the subcommittees or all the committees of the council this week, revising the capital improvement plan based upon having those additional funds. So get more done in next year than we had originally planned. We had 190,000 basically is what we spent, and now we're going to have 430 or close to estimated. Wow. Which will be spent towards infrastructure. So I feel very happy that the people voted that in, because it secures their infrastructure for the future.
Sure, and
it's
the
a
fact
good
that
thing.
they could only be spent for this. It can't be
Yes,
spent for.
It's being put into a capital improvement fund, which will be only used for those things. So it's not being lost in the general fund anywhere. It's being put into a capital improvement fund.
What about the CDBG?
CDBG has to be in September 29th. We had a little problem with the land out there that we thought we owned it. We don't own it, so we're securing the access to that.
Okay.
And
this is for the
new reservoir, Quan's Reservoir.
Yeah, Quan's Reservoir.
So we're going to build it up on higher ground, and for some reason it got messed up, but it's not that big of an issue.
Yeah.
We're getting that actually resolved today or tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have all that in September 29th, and then we'll find out how we score against the other cities that are submitting, and that comes out in January.
We did qualify, though. We did have
We
enough.
qualified. We were our official count was 21. I think we went in at 27. Then Carino over at Northwest Kansas, she redid everything and said it was 21. We're officially
good
over there. So if they audit, we're fine.
Okay. Well, all in all, it looks like things. Anything else?
That's the vision. Look forward to that. I look forward to people's feedback on it, and we're going to. I really would like. We had 43 people at the last town hall meeting, even though they watched it like 1,200 and some times on My Phillips County Online, and we'll hopefully get this one streamed as well to where people can go out and view it. But I want people to give their input of what they want in the city, because it is their city. And they got to feel like they're part of it, and this is their opportunity to voice their opinion on what they want.
Well, and you're very visible. I mean, this is a big thing. I think one of the things you ran on the fact that the people, nothing done.
No, we're very transparent on what we do.
Yeah, transparency is there.
It's exactly what we're all about.
Sure.
So,
and I think the town hall, that last town hall meeting was very good, and by streaming, more people could see it. And
we stream every city council meeting, and it may not be live sometimes, but it eventually gets out there.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have technical problems, but that's just the internet.
Sure.
But,
okay. Well,
I appreciate you having me on. It's good to have you back.
Yeah, it's nice.
New York didn't keep you.
No, you know, every time I leave there, people say, "What do you like New York?" And I've got to tell you, I was in a wheelchair, and that was pushed all over the place. And people say, "Why do New York people are in?" No, everywhere we went, they would hold the doors. If we had to have a wheelchair carried up and down the stairs, people were there to do it. And it's amazing how friendly people to the city are. They're in a hurry.
Yeah.
They're in a hurry to get things done, as you know, but they can still take time to hold the door and everything for you. So, no, we had a great trip.
Good.
I'll do it again.
All right.
Okay.
Well, you will do it again.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Lance.
You bet.
Okay. Well, that's a busy one. Boy, we've an hour and 45 minutes this morning on a good show. And we got a lot of information out this morning. We'll be coming back next Thursday morning with more. And as of now, I know Wes is going to stop in, and we'll probably talk with Tyson, the new doctor, and it sounds like Angie will be back with Tammy. So other things will be happening again. So we'll see you then. Saturday morning, Sports Talk. I think are we going to be here at the bakery probably this Saturday morning? Probably. Okay. And we have with us Doug Wilfong, who is an official. He's going to come on and talk from Stockton. I've known him for a long, long time, and he's going to talk about new rules in football, so if there's anything new to look out for. And also we'll be talking with J.B. Covington will be joining us. Also we'll be talking about volleyball with Tara and David on cross country. So we have a show coming up on Saturday mornings. And then next Thursday morning on the Tadpoll. Thanks for joining us this morning. We'll see you on Saturday.